Hey everyone, what is going on? And welcome back to another meta guide. This meta guide is going to be on the original Little Cup, so this is going to be available beginning Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, this is the original Little Cup. We had this back in Season 5. It was over a year ago. It was a long time ago. So maybe some of you were not around and you were not playing during Season 5. Maybe you were. But, you know, a lot of people didn't necessarily like this meta because Bronzor was everywhere. This was before Bronzor had payback. So now it has payback. Now it can hit the mirror match for super effective damage if you happen to run into it. But, which you probably will, to be fair. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the Pokemon I think are going to be really good. And I mean, we'll see. I mean, maybe the meta has changed a little bit. Maybe it hasn't. It's been quite a while since it's been around. But either way, let's go ahead and dive right into it. For the S tier, we do have Bronzor, of course. That's going to be a meta Pokemon. But again, now it has payback, so now it can hit itself for super effective damage. So if you're going up against opposing Bronzor, you'll be able to use payback and do a lot of damage. Some people are running it with Tackle. You could run it with Tackle if you choose to. Yeah, but I mean, great Pokemon all around, of course, and this is going to be on a lot of teams, but there's also a lot of anti-Bronzor teams as well, so you'll probably see those, maybe more so than Bronzor. Speaking of anti-Bronzor teams, we're looking at Seal. Now, Seal, if you go with Ice Shard, it's not an anti-Bronzor team, but if you have Lick, it is doing super effective damage to Bronzor, so I think I probably honestly prefer Lick. You know, on this Pokemon, just doing a lot of damage, doing super effective damage to the Bronzor. Ice Shot, of course, with Icy Wind is good. You can have Icy Wind as well, regardless of whether or not you have Lick or Ice Shot. But, you know, both movesets are really solid. It just depends which one you prefer, but I'm probably going to be trying Lick on Seal. I'll probably try both of them, to be honest, but Seal, going to be probably a really great safe swap in this meta. Then we have Cottonee. Cottonee's been good in every single Little Cup. The Little Jungle Cup, the Element Cup, the original Little Cup. Every single Little Cup it's been good on. And there's no reason why it wouldn't be good here. Of course, Bronzor is a wall to Cottonee because Cottonee's Charm is resisted. However, I mean, Charm still chunks even against Pokemon that resist it. And it's just going to be a really good Pokemon in general in this meta. Again, it's up there with Bronzor. So that's the S tier. Moving on to the A tier, we have Wynot. So think of Wobbuffet. Wynot has Counter, of course, and Mirror Coat. It's not a bad Pokemon. It's not a bad Pokemon. Pretty tanky. Counter will be doing. I mean, Counter. I think it's the only Counter user in the meta. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments down below. But it's definitely one of the only good counter users that you see, right? I mean, definitely a great Pokemon, and yeah, I mean, I'm sure you'll see it here and there. It's definitely going to be on teams. I remember battling this Pokemon back in the original Little Cup, and it was kind of annoying to deal with. It doesn't really do a lot of damage, but, you know, it definitely, when it gets going, it's a pretty good Pokemon. Then we have Shelmet. Shelmet is a Body Slam user, Infestation Body Slam. Gets to it really fast, just going to spam out those moves. Bronzor, you know, kind of walling it, I guess, in a way, but pretty solid Pokemon nonetheless. Then we have Ducklet. We've seen this in other Little Cups. This is probably the Little Cup that it's probably the least relevant in, I guess. I mean, it was really, really good in the Element Cup, and it's really, really good in the Little Jungle Cup. The original Little Cup, it's still eligible, and it's still not bad, but I don't see it being as good because there's quite a few answers to it, Bronzor being one of them, right? But then, obviously, you know, that basically might be it. Is that it for what's? I mean, it's the Steel type, so it's the Steel type of the meta. So it's that might be the only wall. So maybe it's a little bit better than I thought. I don't remember Ducklet being used too often back in the original Little Cup. I think it was out back then. I'm not too sure. Maybe because Bronzor was everywhere, but yeah, I mean, it's a really good Pokemon. And it's just really good. We don't have electric types or anything, so it's going to be really solid in this meta. I guess Bronzor may be one of the only few total walls to it. Then the B tier, we have Dino. Dino with Dragon Breath, doing a lot of damage. We've seen it in other Little Cups. We know how powerful it is. It gets deleted like in 3 charms from Cottonee, so you do have to watch out for that. Bronzor is resisting the Dragon Breath damage. But if you're running, Bronzor has Confusion, right? It's been so long. I think it has Confusion. But if you're running Confusion on Bronzor, of course, Dino is going to be double resisting that. I think it has Confusion, and it double resists the Payback as well. But if you're running Tackle, I guess Tackle could do good damage to Dino. But Dino's a great Pokemon, and one that you'll probably see. As long as it avoids Ice types and Cottony, should be good to go in this meta. But there's a few Ice types that are really good in the Little Cup. So, but I think it's okay. I think it's pretty good. Then we have the Cantonian Vulpix. So Cantonian Vulpix, another pretty solid Pokemon. Of course, it does well against Bronzor and Cottony, being a Fire type, super effective to both. That's why it's really good. If you're running a Fire type, I think Fire types are really good in this meta. So really solid Pokemon. Alolan Vulpix is another Pokemon that's okay, doing super effective damage, right? With the Ice typing to Cottony. Doesn't really do well against Bronzor. That's why I think the Cantonian one, the Kanto one, is probably better, but not a bad pick. Then we have a Pokemon I actually liked back in the original Little Cup. I remember it, Stunky. Now you could run Shadow Stunky, and I probably would recommend it, but it has Bite, doing so much damage, absolutely ripping through Bronzor. So Bite ripping through Bronzor, as well as Why Not, right? Super effective damage to both of them. It's not going to do well against Cottony, of course, because Bite is resisted. Yes, Stunky is neutral towards Charm, but it's not going to be doing a lot with Bite. But it's a great Pokemon. As long as it doesn't go up against anything that resists Bite, it's going to be doing really well. If it's super effective or neutral, if it's doing super effective or neutral damage, it's going to be doing a lot of damage. So really good Pokemon. Pokemon that I personally will be using as well to try it out. So that's the S, A, and B tier. Let me know which your favorite Pokemon are. Then we're going to move on to the other options. We do have Woopa. We have a couple Mud Boys here. We have Woopa and Barboach. Really good Pokemon. I mean, Body Slam really fast. Ice Beam with Barboach if you run Ice Beam. Mud Bomb, right? Super fast. Mudshot, Mud Bomb. We know how fast they are, right? So, going to be doing a lot of damage. And, of course, Ground is super effective to Bronzor, being a Steel typing. As well as like the Fire types, if you happen to run into the Fire types. Ground is super effective to the Poison Pokemon like Stunky. Stunky is only weak to Ground. It's not weak to anything else. So if you're looking to have answers to Stunky, either Barboach or Woopa may be the way to go with Mud Bomb, Mudshot, Mud Bomb, Body Slam, doing really good damage. I mean, we've seen them in other Little Cups, right? So we know, we've seen them in the Jungle Cup. We know how fast they are. I think Whoop is probably a little bit better than Barboach, but they're both pretty good. Another Fire type is Tepig and Growlithe, so two Fire types here. Vulpix, in my opinion, is better, but if you're going with a double Fire team, which we will talk about in the solid team options, if you're going with a double Fire team, you could run Tepig or you could run Growlithe, and I think double Fire does have a lot of play. Of course, it is strong. You have two answers in the back to Bronzor, two answers to Cottony, right? Fire type Pokemon I think are going to be really good. Next up, we have two Poison types. We have Nidoran and Skorupi, right? We see those in the Little Jungle Cup, so a lot of similar Pokemon, a lot of the same Pokemon. Of course, yeah, it's just really good Pokemon. Charges up pretty fast with Poison Sting. We know how fast they can get. Really good. Aqua Tail is so fast. Cross Poison is so fast, doing well against Cottony. You guys know that. Doesn't really do well against Bronzor, though, because, on Nidoran, Body Slam is resisted. Aqua Tail, of course, I guess neutral towards Bronzor, but it's probably not going to do too much. I have to check how much it does. But they're decent Pokemon in this meta. I think they're better in the Jungle Cup, but they're not bad here. Then we have Swinub, or Shadow Swinub. We know how good it is in the Little Jungle Cup. Going to be really solid here. I think it's probably a pretty good lead. I prefer Seal because of the lick damage, but Swinub is a pretty good Pokemon to use as well. So you'll probably see it here and there, but I think Seal is going to be more common. But either way, that we talked about Nidoran, Driftbloom, another great one with Icy Wind, of course, Hex, Icy Wind, Shadow Ball as well. Charging up pretty fast, and of course doing a lot of damage. Super effective charge attacks with the Icy Wind towards Cottony, and with the Shadow Ball towards Bronzor, right? So doing a lot of damage to both of those Pokemon. Just overall a great Pokemon. It is really squishy, but it is really good. We have another Charm user, Spritzy. I don't think Spritzy is as good as Cottony, but it's another Charm user if you want to go that route. If you happen to want to go double Charm, I don't think we'll see many double Charm teams, but who knows? I mean, we might see them. Venonet is another Bug-type Confusion user. I don't think it's as good in this meta compared to other metas. It could be fun to use. You know, Confusion, Poison, Poison Fang, right? Yeah, Confusion, Poison Fang. Pretty fun to use, especially the Shadow one, doing a lot of damage. But, you know, then we're moving on. We talked about Growlithe as a second Fire type. We talked about Barboach as a second Mud Boy. Then we have a Lowland Sandshrew, another Ice type. This is a great Pokemon. Powder Snow, right? Night Slash, doing super effective damage to Bronzor. The Powder Snow super effective to Cottony. So it doesn't benefit from the Steel typing, right, that its evolution does, but still a pretty good Pokemon as well. And I think this could be a pretty good safe swap in this meta. It does have to watch out, though, for Fire types, right, of course. But then we have Onix, which could be okay. Onix could be fun to use, but I don't think it's going to be the best Pokemon, but it could be okay. So the solid team options, we're going to go ahead and move on to that. We do have the first team. We have a Alolan Sandshrew with Driftbloom and Seal in the back. So this Seal with Lick doing a lot to Bronzor, of course. You know, the Night Slash going to be answering Bronzor as well. We have Ice types to answer Cottony. All three of these Pokemon actually have Ice moves, right? So we have the Icy Wind from the Driftbloom. We have the Seal, Icy Wind as well. So going to be debuffing your opponent a lot on this team. And Alolan Sandshrew, of course, with the Night Slash for Bronzor. You definitely want that. You want the Lick for Bronzor as well. So answering two of the top Pokemon on this team. I think this could be a solid team. Moving on, we have the double fire team that I was talking about. I put Cottony in the lead because the back line, the double fires, do not want to see the Mud Boys like Wooper and Barboach. If you happen to see those, if you happen to see ground types, the fire types are going to struggle. So maybe lure one of them out, maybe lure it out with Vulpix, and then Cottony can handle that and handle it after Vulpix goes down, and then you have another fire type. But yeah, double fire, Cottony double fire, I think is going to be pretty solid in this meta. The next team we have Bronzor with Stunky and Cottony. So Bronzor, great Pokemon, of course, as we've talked about. We know it's going to be highly ranked. Stunky is going to be able to bite it all the way down. Bronzor kind of answers itself in a way because, I mean, if you happen to be in the mirror match, it's a neutral mirror match with payback, depending on which fast move you have, I guess. And then Stunky, of course, with bite, doing a lot of damage, able to answer that. Cottony is Bronzor does resist Cottony, but Cottony just does so well. This team is going to struggle to fire teams, so if you happen to see a fire Pokemon, this team probably not going to appreciate it, but you could probably get away with doing a lot of damage with Bronzor before it goes down. Stunky, of course, with Bite, so the team's not going to really appreciate fire types, but I think it's an okay team. Moving on, we have Stunky in the lead with Bite. We have Seal. We have actually double Ice, so you could go Lick, you could go Ice Shard, whichever one you want to go with. Because you do have Stunky in the lead. You also have Night Slash in the back. So, again, the first Pokemon on this team, Bite, is going to be resisted by Cottony, but the two Pokemon in the back kind of answer Cottony with the Ice attacks. So, I think this could be a pretty interesting team. You could go with, as I said, Lick. You could go with Lick on Seal. You could go with Ice Shard, whichever move you want to go with. But I mean, because you have Bite and you have Night Slash, right? You don't really need another answer to Bronzor, but I think it could be okay. I'd probably try Ice Shot on this team, but both moves are pretty good. Moving on, we have another team. We have Ducklet in the lead. Ducklet, I like the moveset Brave Bird with Bubble Beam, so that's the moveset I personally like, and that's the moveset I would probably run if I tried Ducklet. So Ducklet in the lead. Ducklet is a great Pokemon, of course. I don't remember it being too common in the original Little Cup. Who knows? Maybe it wasn't even out in the original Little Cup. I feel like it was, though. I could be wrong. I'm not too sure. But either way, I don't remember it being relevant or used too often in the original Little Cup. But I think it's really good. Of course, Bronzor is resisting it. But other than that, it's nothing else pretty much resists the flying attacks. If you want a faster charge attack, you could go Aerial Ace, I guess, but Brave Bird in the lead, I like it because you could Brave Bird, either get a shield or KO whatever it is, and then if they shield, you could switch out. We've seen it multiple times, right? And then, of course, Bronzor in the back, I'm doing Bronzor things, right? I mean, it's a great Pokemon, probably the safe swap on the team, because even Pokemon that resist it, even Pokemon that do well against Bronzor, right, like fire types, you're still doing a lot of damage before you go down, right? So it's a great Pokemon. overall, and of course Vulpix doing well. I love the fire types in this meta because they do well against 2 of the top picks. They do well against Bronzor, they do well against Cottonee. So I think it's a great Pokemon. All in all, yeah. I think it's a great Pokemon. I think it's a pretty solid team. So again, charge up to the Brave Bird. You could bait with Bubble Beam if you choose to, or you could go straight Brave Bird and dip out. I usually like doing that, but it really depends what I'm going up against, I guess. Moving on to the final team, we do have Dino. Dino doing a lot of damage with Dragon Breath as long as it stays away from Cottonee. It doesn't want to go up against Ice types either, but it's a good Pokemon. Just cannot take a Charm to save its life, right? It's double weak to Charm, and then we have Drifloon and Seal in the back. So both of these Pokemon, of course, Drifloon, as we know, has Shadow Ball, has Icy Wind, doing a lot of damage to the Bronzor and the Cottonee, Seal as well, especially if it has Lick, right? So I would probably run Lick on that team. But either way, these are some teams that I think you might see in this meta. Let me know what team you plan on using in the Little Cup, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.